Okay, we'll get started. You want to count us down?
3, 2, 1.
Woo! Okay, everyone. Welcome to Vibing This, the podcast that gives exposure to up-and-coming artists and demystifies the music industry. Today, we have on Zach and Tyler from Wild.
What's up?
Woo!
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Okay, guys, thank you for joining me. So we're just going to kick it off. Tell us how you guys got, Wild together. I know that you guys are, the two main band members from it, and there's been, some rotations about who the other singer is. Wild is, a folk. You describe it as, folk, indie, alternative.
Yeah, that sounds
Is that,
right.
the preferred genres?
Pop.
Pop.
A little bit of pop in
A little
there.
bit of popping.
Yeah. They have a ton of followers on Spotify. They have been on tour and opened for, it was Ingrid Michelson, and...
We did a tour with the national parks.
Oh, yeah. Technically, we opened for Tom Petty before he died.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa,
that was
that's pretty cool.
The week that he died,
Yeah,
which was
literally
really
the week
sad.
that he died.
Wait, holy shit, that's actually
Yeah.
pretty wild. Dang. Okay, so they've opened for Ingrid Michelson and Tom Petty.
Not bad, right?
They've also been, I saw at the end, I was reading their bio, and your bio at the end is you guys have your music featured in Mazda and Toyota-thon and all these things like that. And I was I feel like that is the most I feel like that is the quintessential indie artist. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about just how you guys got Wild together and how you got started.
It was 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Now.
So Zach and I moved to LA at the same time, not knowing each other at all. And my roommate, you knew my roommate, right? That's what
Yeah,
it was?
his roommate was in a band that I toured with a long time ago, or
Yeah.
kind of.
So we all went to this Thai restaurant together, my roommate and Zach and a few other people. And then Zach and I just started talking about music and stuff. And then I think you found my SoundCloud or something.
Yeah,
And you
I DM'd. I said, let's
slid into the
collab. Let's
DMs.
make some beats.
Yeah, so then we just started writing together, and that was, we both just moved here, so I personally wasn't doing anything. I think I was working at the Sony store
Yeah,
selling TVs.
the Bev Center.
Yeah, at the Beverly Center, and yeah.
Yeah, I was just working at a bar called Stout.
Oh yeah.
Well, it was the same. I was super green then. I'd been in bands. I know you've been in bands, but as far as
Not
being
out
in
here,
LA
yeah, it
and
was-
writing and trying to figure out whatever we got to now, I had no idea. And I think I was oh, your production sounds really good. Let's just make some songs, and then that kind of started everything. I guess.
It really didn't sound good then, but
I disagree.
then
I
we
think you had the
we
sauce.
started a band called Holiday Weekend first. That was our
Oh,
first.
Oh, I
band.
love that band name.
We've
actually.
had
That's pretty sick.
yeah, we've had I don't even want to exaggerate. We've started 30 different bands probably.
Yeah.
at this
Wow,
point.
just you two?
Yeah, just
Either the two of us or us individually.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just trying different things to see what would resonate with us, and Wild was one of them, and it just so happened to be that it resonated with other people too, which was great
Yeah.
because that doesn't always happen. But
When we first started making it, Holiday Weekend specifically, I think we knew someone in it's sync music, synchronization, which is the Mazda stuff that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the plan. It was we saw these people making tons of money doing it, and we were so if we make songs that are super happy, upbeat, with specific lyrics, then you get these placements for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And no one, there was no, it was a secret. This is 2013. There was a couple of people doing it, and they were making absurd amounts.
Because for a long time it was actual bands getting syncs, and now it's people making fake bands
to
to get
appear
syncs.
real, yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah,
I
there's
thought
a
that
whole
I didn't realize
ecosystem.
that was the model for that was that you would get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars and people make fake bands. So people make fake bands to do that now, or is that
Yeah.
wow?
Me and Benny are doing that right now.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But I mean, generally, I think it probably just stemmed from someone seeing a huge artists and shows back in the day, being oh, I could make a song that sounds like that, and probably undercut what that artist would charge for that license. And then that's how people were let's just make fake bands, and
Yeah, the music supervisors who pick the songs, they want to see a real artist. So
they want
it's
a story.
if you make a Instagram, take pictures, it looks like you're a real artist.
But really, it's just people putting a couple of people together to make the music for it, and it's a band that's not necessarily touring or
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
putting out music.
Exactly.
That's so interesting. So was that the original? And that was the original inception for this band?
Yeah, a little bit. We just wanted to, like, we loved, who was it, like, of Monsters and Men? Like,
And Mumford
Yeah,
and Sons.
Mumford
you know,
and
I
Sons,
was gonna
like,
say, listening to your guys' music, it reminds me so much of Monsters and Men, like
Love
that
it.
Yeah,
vibe,
back in
which
that
I
era,
love.
like, I
Yeah.
was obsessed with them.
Oh my god,
Like-
they're so good.
so good. And so it was perfect just to, because we didn't have, like, a prompt. Like, a lot of times when we write something for a specific thing, we have, like, a target of, like, what we're trying to go after. Like, if it's like a car ad, they're like, we want something fun and sounds like with hip hop or
Yeah,
whatever.
sometimes they'll give you like a specific lyric that they need to have in there too. Like,
Oh, really?
Like a
Yeah.
line. Yeah.
Like Toyota Thon.
No, more like literally like Here We Go is like so many people want like Here We Go as a lyric as in the song.
It was kind of a
Oh,
joke.
really?
Yeah, like they're like, yeah, a song like Here We Go. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Let's have fun with it.
You know, that's so interesting that you see that. Now, like, listening to your music and, like, thinking back about listening to it, I'm like, this makes so much more sense that it's, like, written for that, or it was initially written for that purpose, because your music is so incredibly, like, upbeat and happy and, like, inspirational and so positive. Like, the
Yeah.
whole point is, like, it's just, like, positivity all the way through, which I feel like a lot of the times for indie music, it's usually, I mean, honestly, I feel like the sad girl pop or sad boy pop is just like so many indie
Yeah.
artists
Yeah,
do
it's
that.
just like you want everyone to feel bad.
Yeah, you want everyone to feel bad and, like, you know,
That was kind of like
feel
a
your
huge
pain.
thing after Wild started to get some like attention and we got like fans and stuff. We would get so many comments like that are like, "This song saved my life," like those kind of things. And that's
Wow.
when it was like, okay, making positive music isn't just like for ads. It's like these people actually like it does actually impact people, which was really
Yeah.
cool.
100%.
I will say this to our defense, because like it's easy to like just quantify it as like, oh well, because it did start like as a project that was like written to try and get into movies or advertisements, but we never, like, none of these songs were ever like for a specific target. We just like got together and wrote like a real song.
Yeah.
And it just happened to so work for these things. So like at least I like that there's like that's like a little bit of integrity. I'll take that there.
Yeah, I don't think that makes it less.
Like less valuable.
yeah.
or
no,
anything.
not at all.
I think
It certainly doesn't.
we just had like that in mind when we were making stuff. So we were like, the only thing we would do purposefully is like not swear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
Like-
swear or like be too like,
Crass
Yeah.
Yeah.
or sexual.
Yeah.
Or
exactly.
sexual.
Or like romantic even. Like it
Yeah.
we kind of wanted it to be like platonic love songs.
You know
Yeah.
what? That's literally the perfect word to describe the music, because I was thinking a lot throughout it that I was like, wow, a lot of songs are written about love. You feel it super strongly, and then it's just the easiest thing to write about because most people can relate to it.
Yeah.
But these songs aren't romantic. They're purely like inspirational and positive and happy, which again, like, yeah, just because you wrote it for those purposes doesn't mean it's not good music or it's not like
Like
relatable
real.
or
Yeah.
real. Exactly. Like, I think a lot of people want that upbeat music and they don't want like the sad girl and sad boy pop all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always a time and place for,
sure.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love that
I love
stuff.
that.
Yeah, exactly. I eat that stuff up, but it's like not, you know, there is times when you're like, I just want to like feel good, and this is
Yeah.
exactly that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Here We Go. That's like probably the most popular song on Spotify. So that was written specifically, you said, for Mazda, or what was the
Oh
what was the
no,
situation
that,
for that?
wasn't written specifically for anything.
That was just us.
I'm just saying like
Vibing.
that they do ask for that phrase a lot now.
Oh,
which is
Yeah.
interesting.
But
yeah.
yeah, like specific phrases like that are something they want.
Like a call to action
Yeah.
or something. Like they want that stuff because it just works well like behind.
But we wrote that song before we had any like sync success, I think.
Yeah, we just wrote that with our friend Randall.
Yeah.
And
Did we write that in Nashville?
yeah, we were in Nashville. We were just trying to make a record, I think, at that time.
Yeah.
And it was this was early days, like probably like 2016. We were just trying to figure out what we were doing. And
Yeah,
having
we
fun.
would like take trips to Nashville and write with a bunch of these writers that are awesome.
Yeah.
But it was funny because we always, the whole time, at least for me, I was always trying to find a producer for Wild.
I know. And I was like, dude, just, you
'Cause
can
I was
do
like-
You're a
it.
producer yourself, right?
Yes. Yeah, but he
I like fell into it because like we would record at my house and like end up doing it. But I always thought these are just like demos that we can show to a real producer and then they could produce it and make it sound awesome.
Yeah.
But then it's just like, I think one time we had the opportunity and it was like 25 grand or something.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. That's
And-
crazy.
Yeah,
For
it
like
was
one
sup-
song?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
for
that-
one song. And that's
Wow.
just to produce it. Then you have to pay to mix, master, and
Yeah.
then marketing. It's like, putting out a song is expensive.
I did get
Wow.
clarity on that exact situation though, because I always wondered why would they think we could afford that?
Yeah.
They thought we were with like a major label.
And $20,000 for one song, I'm like, that's pretty nuts.
That's
I feel
wild.
like. That's
That's wild.
Wild.
That's wild.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
So we, so yeah, I like fell into the producer role, but I was always just like band guy. Just like, I was just in the band wanting to write songs. And then we just kept recording them. And
Yeah.
now I'm the guy.
Yeah.
So are you guys currently still in a bunch of different bands, or is Wild still like your main band? Because I know you're working with like one of our friends, Ben, actually right after this. So do you guys do that now, or what's kind of like your musical journey now?
It's like I mostly like co-write songs for other artists, and then it's like a split between writing songs that like specifically go for licensing or like ads, and then the other half is definitely just other artists that are looking for songs or like pitching songs, like a lot of like K-pop stuff. Like usually just write it and send it off into the ether and hope it, like, whatever people hear it, they cut it. But mostly that. But outside of Wild, like that's like the longest band I've ever been in. Like as far as time wise.
Yeah, I feel like we do the same thing pretty much. Like we both have sessions just like every day with whoever our publisher sets us up with, or management or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just like write songs with different artists or like other people specifically for sync. Like that's what me and Benny are doing today. Okay, just like writing something specifically for a brief for sync.
So just to get some more like clarification around this, just because I feel like a big point of this podcast is like demystifying the music industry. So you guys have like individual management, but like, does that mean that Wild itself as an entity has management, or is it like you two as individuals have management?
Wild used to have management, and I think after a while, like when it stopped being more a band and started being more specifically for sync, we didn't really need him like a artist manager anymore. So we like parted ways with him.
Yeah. I mean, we have like individual managers, but like Wild it's just you and I that kind of control everything for probably the last 4 years. Yeah. Since COVID.
And our lawyer,
who's great.
Cool.
Shout out Lauren.
Okay, that's really interesting. I guess I didn't really wrap my head around the concept that like bands have management, but also individuals within those bands can have their own separate management. And then it sounds like your managers set you guys up with a lot of opportunities just for like collaborating, writing, and just like presenting you with musical opportunities with other people too.
Yeah, totally.
Exactly. Because I think like also like someone who would be like if we had a manager for Wild, I would want different things out of them than someone who's managing me as a songwriter.
Yeah, but we did have the manager that managed Wild was also our individual manager for a while.
For a little bit. Yep.
More kind of like in the direction about Wild itself, you guys have gone through like a lot of iterations. Like it's always been you two, but you've had like rotations of like different female singers. A lot of the music like has a female vocalist. So can you tell me a little bit more about like that and how you've navigated those iterations?
Yeah, I think we started Holiday Weekend. It was just the two of us.
Yeah.
And we were just kind of like, I honestly think it was like the syncs were leaning more towards like female vocals, and we were like, we should get like a female vocal on this.
Like I need a girl in here.
Yeah, like it's LA. We could probably find someone who could sing.
You probably found someone.
We didn't know anyone.
Yeah, but then I don't know how we found Christina first, but
from David Lovett.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just crazy. He's my manager now. This is a guy like 11 years ago who wasn't managing us. I don't know. Oh, okay. Pizza B.
Well, yeah. So we found her, and then we worked with her for like 2 years, I think.
Yeah,
and then
wrote a record and a half.
Yeah, like our first bigger songs were like all with her, and we played a few shows with her, and then she moved back to Vegas, where she's from, and we just kind of like didn't keep in touch as much. So then we just found someone else.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then here we are now.
Here you are now
on V3.
You just like released an EP in 2024, Yellow.
Yeah.
So that's with your most recent singer, right?
No. These are songs that we wrote probably
within the last like 2 years.
2 years that were kind of like, we don't want these to die on a hard drive. Like we want to put these out because I really like these songs.
Yeah, they're really
good. They're
I think
fantastic.
they're awesome. And so we were like, screw it, let's just put these out. Like
so me and Zach were like, let's do a song a month just to like get these out, and then we'll do like 3 singles EP, singles EP, or whatever it is.
Yeah, and then with Dana, who's singing on a lot of the new stuff, we were gonna that's probably gonna be 2025, as far as release schedule.
We have like a whole album with her already done. So
okay, so that's like on the forefront in 2025. You're gonna release another album.
Yeah,
that's so interesting. I always feel like I forget that with like creating music is that these songs are like already 2 years old when you're putting them out. Yeah. Because creating music like takes so long.
I think one of the ones on the Yellow EP is like 5 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy.
It was 2019.
I'd love to hear a little bit more about like your guys' songwriting process. Like if you guys want to talk about a more recent song that you've done, or even like one of the older like top songs like Here We Go or Vagabond, Like, tell me how you guys like collaborate with each other and just like navigate that process.
You know what's weird is that like I think about this question because like I'll get this from different friends asking, just curious, and I don't know how to answer it because it's different every time.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like, well, that's the thing. That's usually like when you write with a new person, like you get in the room and immediately like the first question is like, so how do you like to write? And
I'm
it's
like,
just
dude, I wish I
however
knew.
you want to. Like,
Yeah, because it's different. It's like sometimes I'll come in with a hook, or I'll come in with nothing, and you'll have a track built.
Yeah, I feel
Or
like
we
most
just-
of the time, me and you, we just like find a chord progression, and then we'll
Yeah.
record some stuff. Because I feel like we both kind of like vibe off of the track,
the
like,
feeling of it.
Yeah, like we'll
Yeah.
we'll make something first, like instrumentally, and then we'll like top line it, like sing on top of it. And I think that's usually how we do it.
So I'm assuming that like maybe there's the same sort of process then for like Here We Go, like your
Yeah,
biggest song.
yeah, like we wrote that with our friend Randy. I think it was in Nashville.
Just
And
like in his living room with his deaf dog on the floor.
oh yeah,
His
Dog-
deaf dog.
Yeah, can't hear shit.
Was that
Yeah.
part of the inspiration at all?
Yeah, and he has a studio out there
Deaf
called Deaf
Dog
Dog
Studios.
Studios.
Really? That's
Yeah.
so
So good.
cute.
It's like a really beautiful studio too.
Yeah.
Randall Kent.
Randall Kent.
Oh, that's really sweet. So these songs have picked up and like gotten a lot of traction. Like we can just keep talking about that one, for example. But how has that gone about? Like this, I also feel like you guys got together honestly pre like TikTok being a huge thing and like
That's the
pre social
thing.
media.
Yeah.
And so like Here We Go, for example, is huge, but like you didn't have all the TikTok and like needing your sound to trend and like
Yeah.
people discovering music in that way.
Yeah.
So how did you guys get your music to pick up so much traction in when did that come out, by the way? That was like
I think
what,
it was like 2016 or
2016,
something.
yeah.
2016.
Maybe
peak
2015.
peak indie
That's the
of
thing.
Monsters and Men.
There was like a
peak
golden era.
There was a golden era of
There was
that.
like a golden era of indie music where, especially Spotify, they had just like, I don't know, the playlist started to get really popular.
Yeah.
And I remember when we put out Vagabond, we were literally nobody. We just put it out ourselves on TuneCore.
For fun.
And immediately it got on the indie pop playlist, which is like a huge playlist. And then from there, like we got management from that. We got
Wow.
that
Kinda did
festival that we
everything.
played with Tom Petty, Bottle Rock.
That's 'cause of that.
They
Oh my god, I
literally-
love Bottle Rock.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
played
yeah.
that.
I live in the Bay Area, so
Oh,
like
that's
that's a
right.
huge fest, and they always have the craziest lineup. They
Yeah.
get really good lineup.
It's the
there.
best festival. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's so sick.
the guy literally said like, I found you on the indie pop playlist on Spotify. Do you want to play the festival? Like that
Wow.
was.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff came from just getting that one playlist.
Playlists, which this was when there were people doing the playlists. Like
Yeah.
now it's like really like it's mostly an algorithm.
Yeah.
But there was apparently our old management like met the girl who is the supervisor there who was like, I love Wild. I'm just gonna keep putting them on all these playlists. And honestly, she's like directly responsible for probably most of the things that have happened to us.
That's real, yeah.
I wish I knew what her name was.
Because every song we put out after that got like a big playlist.
Yeah.
Then we get like New Music Friday or like, I remember specifically there was one playlist, like a running playlist called Run Wild.
Yeah.
And we were the first one on there. And it had like 3 million followers, which at the time was like insane on Spotify. That
Yeah.
was like the biggest playlist, I think. And we just would get like thousands and thousands of streams every day from that.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's been so much not ambiguity, but like the music industry has changed so much even
It
since like
has.
2016
Yeah.
because in 2016 in that time it was always the playlist. Like you'd get discovered that way, or like you didn't have to rely so much on social media. How are you guys kind of like navigating that process now? Because it's like such a big shift. And I also don't know, I'd love to hear your sentiment too around like what you think of that shift.
I mean, it's definitely, I think it's harder to break a band, like really break a band. But
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess, like, as far as how am I handling, like, I guess I'm not. I'm doing it in, like, a really bad way. Like, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I should be making a TikTok every day. I should be doing this, but, like, maybe I'm, like, a boomer now. I just can't imagine doing that. And it makes me really, like,
yeah, we made like one
existentially- it's, like,
TikTok
dread.
for when we started putting out songs again. We made one. and that
It's
was
just tough because it just doesn't feel natural. I'm like, I feel like I'm doing a skit. And
Yeah.
it kind of is like a
Yeah,
skit.
it is.
But I think now it's cool because I guess it's not cool. It's like a double-edged sword. But if you are a good entertainer, you can get your music out there. But if you have great music and you're not like good on the social front, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. At least right now,
But I think it finds its way.
it will. Yeah, I don't think it's like an end-all be-all. Like if your music's amazing and you're not good at making videos, you can still be
Like MJ Lenderman is a good example. Like
Great
he's not
example.
on any social media at all,
That's my dream.
but he's killing it. He's on like late night shows and like touring, playing sold out shows at the Fonda, and, like doing really well.
That's true.
No social media presence at all.
Yeah, I guess I don't know what I think about it. It's just it's scary. I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
don't understand it. It just feels like you have to do like spam content out for it to work, and then that makes me feel like everyone hates me.
Yeah.
Follows me. I'm like, well, I don't want to make them hate me. So,
Yeah.
but then that's the only way you can get it to catch the algorithm. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's confusing.
No, I do resonate with that. Even though like we're like creating this podcast and we'll put out the soda clips and do all this stuff, there is this like big element of like, oh my god, it feels like a lot of work, and you're like, does anyone even like this?
Yeah,
Like,
most people have like a negative sentiment.
Yeah.
Because it's like an extra job that you have to do.
totally,
But
and it's like a
also-
full time job.
But you also don't have to do it if
Yeah.
you don't want to do it.
Yeah, you definitely don't.
You don't have to do anything. You don't. You don't
yeah,
want to
that's
do.
It's-
that's totally true.
I think like social media in general is just like the lottery as far as an artist. Like you can
Right.
still make a ton of money without getting a lottery ticket.
Yes,
like,
you can.
But if you get a lottery ticket, you have a chance at winning huge too. So
Yeah.
like maybe it's worth. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you just need to enjoy doing it. Like if you like making content, it doesn't bother you that much. Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a
Make
lot
a
of people
ton.
do, and it is
Yeah.
fun sometimes.
It is. It can be fun.
Yeah.
If you figure out like your thing that you're comfortable in.
Yeah.
Because I'm not comfortable singing into like a fake microphone and pantomiming a song. That would make me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'd be like, they know I'm faking it, but they know and they don't care.
Yeah,
I
they don't.
know.
So maybe tell me a little bit about just like the music that you're currently making and like what would go out in 2025 that people can anticipate.
Yeah, I think we're doing like kind of more epic stuff lately.
Yeah.
Epic, okay.
Like M83 is a huge
Yeah.
inspiration. Like
I
their
love
last
M83.
record was like incredible.
So good.
So I feel like we've been kind of trying to do stuff like that.
Yeah, like it's weird. I feel like we're almost weirdly returning to how we used to be so over the top, anthemic, everything was just huge.
We
in
have a
your
lot of
face.
unreleased songs that are just like insane.
And we're kind of going back to that thing again, which is
Yeah.
fun to like return to a sound like that. But it's like with our years of refining our separate crafts, so it's
Yeah.
really fun to go back to. But we're doing like a lot of that. I think we have like
That's
a full
so
year's worth of
exciting.
releases almost.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
so
we're ready
awesome.
to go. We just got to do. We
We're
already did
cooking.
photos and doing all that. We just got to do like a music video.
Yeah.
Tell me about like the song releasing process. So you guys have been writing your music, then there's going to be like mastering your music, and then you're going to like, I don't know if you get it on playlists or like, tell me about like that whole process, I guess, start to finish, because your songs are like a couple years old, but you just released it in 2024. So I want to hear more about just like what goes into that.
Yeah.
Well, it was different before because we were on a label for a few years, like 4 years or something.
Mhm.
And that was hard because we, like I said, we work pretty fast. Like we'll have a song written, produced, mixed, and mastered like in a day, maybe like a week max if like we have to do like notes or something.
Yeah.
But then with the label, it's like you don't get to decide when the song comes out. It's like you
Oh,
deliver them all
interesting.
these songs, and then you're like, hey, we'd like to release this like then, and they're like, maybe in like 8 months after that or something.
Yeah,
You're
because
like,
they have a whole roster of songs that they don't want to compete with. Like they already
Yeah.
have like, I don't know, they had like Passenger at the same time as us. What if there's a Passenger song? You can't have Wild coming out the same day as a Passenger song.
yeah. So that was
Why?
the thing.
It just
'Cause
like
they
affects their
compete
bottom
with their
line.
own market, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
interesting.
within their own roster. I think they just don't want to have like inner roster competition. Maybe.
If it's like a similar genre and they're pitching the same at the same time, they're just like one of them is not going to get it, and that one then loses them money, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So they just move it, and then sometimes, like you said, it would take like we would have a song done, and it would be like 8 months, and everyone
For them to put it out?
Well,
Yeah,
and then one
just take a
time,
while.
I feel like it took a couple years because they were like, instead of doing singles, we want you guys to like have an album. So then we had to like finish an album before we could release any of the songs that we
which
had.
like historically over at least the last 6 or maybe longer years, it's like a really bad idea to do an album as like a new artist because it just has the same lifespan as one single almost.
Yeah.
So most of the songs just get like completely glossed over. Like
Yeah.
nobody hears them, which is what happened to our album.
Yeah.
'Cause
Almost
we
like
put
we
out
called
one
it.
album, and it like probably 6 of the, I think there's 12 songs or something.
Yeah.
6 of them have like a quarter of the streams of the, like the singles that we released from them.
Honestly, that's like giving me so much clarity because that's what artists do now. They all release singles from the album,
Yeah.
and then they'll even do that thing like on Spotify now where it's like it
You can
shows you
see
the
them.
songs that they are released and you can listen to it, and then
Yeah.
you see the rest of the songs, but
That's
you can't
called-
play them.
That's called a waterfall.
Waterfalling.
They started doing that probably like 3 years ago
Yeah.
because it just auto plays the next song. So like, then all of their songs keep getting more streams. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Instead of if it's just the single, then it like after it's done, it'll like go to the radio or whatever. But if you have the
random song.
waterfall, you play the single and then it plays the next single and the next single.
That's honestly really smart. But then, I also feel like it builds a lot of anticipation with the audience because then you see the
Yeah.
other songs that are coming out.
Yeah.
You're
You're
like,
like,
release the album. Like, I want to hear the rest of the Billie Eilish album, you know? So it's like I feel like that's a very interesting way to do it, but I feel like that is a big transition to what it used to be. I think what you guys just did by releasing an EP, which is only 4 songs, it's also great. Because
and we also released 3 of them as singles.
Yeah,
so
I saw that.
So then there was just like a little hidden new one. Like
we literally just did the EPs because we didn't want to just release like 10 singles in a row. So it was like 3 singles EP, 3 singles EP, something like that.
Okay, and so also for the fans out there, what's the difference between an EP and an album?
Shorter. Anything 8 songs or more is an album.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only difference.
That's the only difference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does EP stand for again?
Extended play. So it actually used to be.
Know that.
It used to be like you would have an album and then like the B-sides of it would go on another smaller vinyl and that'd be called an EP. Oh. But now it's like that's just what people put out. So it doesn't really make sense, but that's just what it is.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm learning.
Well, I think the releasing of the EP, we all just learned something here today. It's all demystifying all of music, not even just the current music.
So if you put out an EP before your album, it doesn't make any sense, but that's what everybody does now.
Yeah. We got it all backwards.
Yeah. We put out EPs before we put out our album.
Yeah.
Oh, so people release just like chunks, like 3 or 4 songs before they release like the whole album?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they just did singles. Okay.
Well, I guess, yeah, it would be singles and then like an EP, but then all those songs on the EP could be on the album too.
Yeah.
Oh,
a part of like a
interesting.
greater catalog or something.
Anything just to get more people to see the like,
same thing.
Yeah,
it's a
see
way
the
to
same
market
thing.
the same thing over and over again.
That's really interesting. Are you guys kind of like, do you guys kind of clock or like, are you in touch with how to get like traction with the music, or like, are you just more invested in like producing the music, making the music?
I feel like we used to try really hard, and now we just kind of put it out.
Yeah.
Great.
I think I can't speak for you because I feel like you've always been pretty chill, but like I have like just white knuckled about everything in life. Like just like, and then I realized like if it's gonna fall through your fingers, just let it. And so I've just been like, all right, if
No,
it's
I
out
would
of my
have like
control,
full panic attacks when
Same.
like we would release songs when it was like our sole thing. Like it was like my life depended on this song getting on New Music Friday. You know?
Yeah.
Like, and then you would like at midnight you'd check and see if it was on there, and it's not, and I'd be like, that would literally ruin like my whole week.
Oh, that
like-
makes me so sad.
But yeah,
I feel like in the last 2 years I've finally like got past that
Same.
point in my life.
yeah.
But it also is because I feel like you guys are like diversifying your time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
helpful.
this isn't like the only
it's not
thing.
the
Like,
only, like if Wild doesn't do anything, like we'll both be fine.
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll be
because
fine.
you're both like producers and songwriters and collaborators with other people and like independently like successful in that aspect. So like, I do think there's something to be said with like putting your eggs in like multiple baskets. I think you might go
Yes.
faster and might make it bigger if you like only do that one thing, but like you
But also
gotta
it
make
might
money.
not. It might
It
make
also
you-
might not.
The risk versus reward is
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the best feeling about returning, like now that you're back in LA and we're like writing again, because we had like a little bit of a break with Wild, is that like the pressure is like non-existent because like we all have our individual like paths that we're doing that and it's all working for us. So
Yeah.
then we're not like relying on Wild to be anything more than what it is.
which I also think makes the music better. Too.
Makes it better. It's
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
We just have
You're taking
fun
the pressure
making
off
it.
yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's why we're kind of going back to like our old sound because it's like what we always wanted to make.
Yeah.
But we felt like we needed to make something else to like be popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me more about, and both of you speak on this, but like tell me more about you as individuals navigating this industry, because like it sounds like you're like pretty plugged in. Like,
Yeah.
has it been all kind of like serendipitous, like meeting people and then getting opportunities, or has it been more like very intentional? I'd love to hear about like your individual processes with that.
I think a lot of it is like serendipitous, like just happenstance, like right place, like right time, a lot of things, and then just having like I don't know, like something to offer when you're in that position. I
It
guess.
also feels like we're like in a high school class sometimes because like
Yeah.
I feel like I know so many people that moved here in 2013 for whatever reason, just the same year I moved here, and like we're all like now I look around and I see them like doing like we're all like up there now, and it's like we
weird.
all just like it's the people that just like didn't give up.
They didn't
Like,
quit.
Yeah.
We just kept doing the bullshit until something happened.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
like without like, I also don't have that thing in my brain that I probably should have that tells you to quit when something's like not worth it.
Yeah.
So I guess that might have just for once worked out in my life with this, like not stopping. That's like
Never stop, never stop.
never stopping. That's probably the only advice I would ever give anyone because everything else is like there's no template. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how to like tell someone how to do what we did
Because
again.
everyone has such a different path. Like it's just everything is so everyone you could be at the same exact spot, but you like the way that people got there. It's interesting because like I'll talk to people that like go to music school, and then like we're doing the same thing, but like they did 4 years at school while I was just like being a weirdo in LA, like working at random studios. Like I interned at East West Studios when I first moved here, and it wasn't even an internship because I wasn't in school, but I was just there for free, like getting people coffee and stuff, and setting up mics sometimes, which I thought was so cool. But yeah, it's just like we're all just doing our thing. If you just keep trying and you're like a good person, like something will happen.
Yeah.
That's like that. I feel like with like Chapel Roan, like they're like she's an overnight success, but it's like Homework's been working at it for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video of her like performing Pink Pony Club on like a shitty
Yeah.
piano in a park to like 3 people?
Yeah.
And then it like cuts to like an arena of people. It's just like that's exactly it.
Yeah, like
you
none
never
of these
know.
None of these people are overnight success. Same with like Sabrina Carpenter. Like she was like a Disney child star starting at like age 10.
She's been doing it
Yeah.
forever.
She's been doing
Even
it
I
forever.
toured with her like 2 years ago, and she was
Sabrina
nowhere.
Carpenter?
Yeah, she was
Wow.
nowhere. She was huge, but like not like what
She
she
was-
is now.
Yeah.
I know. She like definitely popped off.
It was so fast. I mean, not fast, but like it's just like interesting to see how things happen.
Well, this is your time for you guys to like shamelessly plug because you can, and I would love if you did. What's like maybe some of the coolest things you guys have done in Wild, outside of Wild, whatever, with like your music career so far?
With Wild, for sure, I think the craziest, like, life-changing thing was, like, that Mazda campaign that we got. Like, I'd never done something like that before, and it's been, like, the gift that keeps on giving. They, like, every year keep picking up the license, renewing it.
Yeah.
And it's, like, amazing. And it's, like, a really cool spot, and the song was, like, perfect for it. Like, I get it now why they picked it.
Yeah, and it was
It's like,
cool
this
because
rocks.
they had us do, like, multiple versions. Like, I did, like,
Yeah.
a Christmas version, and then they
Like
wanted, like, a
orchestral.
cinematic.
Do you put like sleigh bells in it?
Yeah,
to
that's
make
like
it
literally
Christmassy? Like this is Christmas version. Now.
But I would get on the phone with their whole like marketing team, and they'd like tell me like what they wanted, and it was like kind of annoying, but it was also really like fun because I made like a cinematic version for them too. For
What is it? What does that mean? Like to make it cinematic?
like
Strings.
yeah, it was like
and-
just huge drums and stuff. It really isn't the same song at all. It's just like we use that one like woo 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 that thing,
The hook.
and then I like just
which song is it again?
This Is Our Time was the song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that one, I think, as far as like Wild, and then I don't know how to like. I guess like probably the thing that is craziest to my head is playing Wembley sold out was crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You played
Not
Wembley
Wild.
sold
Not
out.
Wild.
But
No,
you guys had Beyonce open up for
Yeah,
you.
that's-
So yeah, that was
yeah,
another time
so
though.
it's not
Yeah.
even a big deal
Yeah,
at
yeah,
all. It was easy, but no, that was crazy. Like it looked like computer generated. Like the crowd didn't even look real.
What
But-
was that event?
So for like the past 4 years, except for this year, I'm not doing it anymore. The past 4 years, I've been touring with Tate McRae. I've been playing guitar for her,
Oh wow.
and so we got to play like one of those like Capital One, whatever, summertime jingle ball fest thing. I don't know what the hell they call it over there.
Summertime jingle.
Jingle
balls.
ball.
Yeah.
Jingle ball.
Because it was in the
Capital
summer, but
One
it was like,
Of course, the
Jingle
summertime
or no, it was
jingle ball.
Capital One summertime
Toyotathon,
ball.
right
sorry.
after.
Toyotathon, actually. Yeah, exactly.
We played Toyotathon.
We played Toyotathon. It was sold out.
at the Wembley Arena.
But yeah, that was cool. That was like something I'll never forget. Like a box that you would think wouldn't ever be checked kind of thing.
Wow,
I think
that's
my
amazing.
like
It was cool.
my favorite memories are like the Wild stuff. Like when we played Bottle Rock.
That
It
was so sick.
It was actually crazy because we got the contract said we were doing like an acoustic set in this like little tent thing that they have, and then we literally pull up with just like a you know what a cajon is, like the little like
The box you sit
the
on
box
and play the
drummer
drums.
sits on. It's
It's
like
like
a bongo type thing.
Yeah.
And just like acoustic guitars and nothing basically because we're doing an acoustic set.
Yeah.
And we pull up behind main stage because the tent was like right next to it, and the guy's like, "Oh no, you guys are playing main stage, like the big
Whoa.
stage." And we're like, "What do you mean we don't have?"
We didn't bring any of our stuff.
And we didn't rehearse that like to
No.
play like full band or anything. So then
Our manager went full manager mode. I don't even know what he did. He just like went around the artist tents and was like
he
$500.
bribed one of the bands to like let us use their drum set, and then we like somehow got the tracks working in the green room, and
Yeah.
we stole wine from Macklemore because we were sharing a green room with him.
Sorry, bro.
I don't know. That was wild.
That was
That
crazy.
was-
Come
That
on.
was wild. Here we go.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, that was definitely like a crazy memory because that was the biggest show that we had ever played.
What time
at that
was it
point.
at?
It was like we were like the third band, but
Yeah.
it was like main stage, so it was
Still.
probably like 2 p.m. or something.
Yeah.
It was a good crowd though. I want to say like there's probably like 2,000 plus people.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's huge.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
it was a huge stage. Like,
It did look
We had the
supremely empty,
jumbotrons
though.
of like,
it did.
yeah,
Because it's supposed to hold
still
like
1,000 people. Okay?
Yeah,
but it's
but
supposed to hold like what 20.
20. So when you see you're like, oh god.
But it looked awesome.
No, but it was really fun, and it was
And,
our
like-
biggest show up to that point. No question.
And we played like South by Southwest in 2016, I think.
Yeah, we played 2 years, didn't we?
Yeah,
But
yeah. Just like the touring stuff was like so
so
fun.
much fun. Yeah, it's fun when you're with like the right group. I've learned that about touring. Been touring a long time. If you're with the wrong group, you want to die. You want to pass on like
Who's in your
immediately.
group besides you two and the other singer?
Oh, we had like hired musicians
You had
that
like
would play
session artists
live.
that you come in and
Yeah.
play with you
So our
guys?
friend Wes Johnson, shout
Wes
out
Johnson,
Wesley Snipes.
shout out.
He would play bass, and then Topher Gale would play drums.
Okay, so it sounds like the touring and stuff. Any other like highlights from like your personal career outside from that?
I mean, I had another project called Girl House that we toured
These
with
are
Sabrina.
great band names, by the way. Like
Thank
all
you.
your band names are so sick.
I have a
Girl
whole
House,
list.
that's so good.
I also have a new band called Stinkus. That's just me.
Stinkus. That's so
Hell
good.
yeah.
I love that.
I have a whole list of band names. But we did that tour with Sabrina Carpenter,
Oh wow.
and like playing those venues like the Wiltern and stuff like that. That was like
So sick.
those were like bucket list things for me. So that was really cool.
That's so cool. Well, maybe you can play with her again now that she's like probably touring again. And
Yeah,
you
maybe
just
she'll
never know.
open for me this.
Maybe she'll open for Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could probably figure that out.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you could.
Yeah.
Just say, look, we had Beyonce last time. We're willing to step down a level for you. If that's okay with you. Okay, we have about like 10 minutes left, so I think I'll just use the time to like maybe
no.
ask you guys some
Silly
questions.
What do we?
What do we? We're about to get silly.
Yeah, let's
Oh
get
my
some
God.
silly questions. Okay. So in the course of this podcast, people have probably developed a sense of like your brand. They're just evaluating you for, approximately 40 minutes at this point.
Hell
What
yeah.
do you think is the most off-brand thing about you?
Zach.
Me? Tyler.
You look like MGK, but we're making like happy.
I
folky
will
songs.
say, no, it's true. I actually was thinking that like your aesthetic does not match
At
the
all.
the vibe of this music, like the folky
yeah.
acoustic of Monsters
It's
and
in
Men
here,
has.
though.
It's in here.
It's in here. No, but the MGK thing has been the bane of my existence since he decided to have bangs and get popular. Like, because I've always had like shaggy hair and bangs, and he got huge, and then I was touring with Tate, so we're doing like, all these festivals.
And they're like, it's MGK.
Literally,
I would have
everywhere
people,
we would go.
mobs of people chase me down, and then still take photos of me when I'm like, no, I'm not. And they're like,
That's happened a
I don't
lot.
care. I got to send this to my daughter. Just take a photo. And I'm like, all right. But
You're like, I'm just like a tall, skinny white guy with tattoos.
and they're like, yeah, so
leave me
Machine
alone.
Gun Kelly? Like, and this has
Yeah.
been happening even before he got famous.
One
It
time,
happened-
remember the AWOL Nation thing too?
Oh, yeah, they thought we were AWOL.
I don't even know what
You
they
guys
look
are
like.
AWOL
Yeah. They took a picture with us. We were like, we're not them. They're like, just take a picture with us.
It's kind of like the Chainsmokers. They're like, who
So
are
funny.
they?
I don't know.
No one knows.
I still to this day don't know what AWOL Nation looks like.
I
know
don't
what they look
either.
like.
But literally, like, I feel like they only have Sail, right? Like, the only song people know is
They have other
Sail.
stuff, I think.
They have other stuff, but like the only song
That's all
anyone
I
knows
know.
is Sail. And I also feel like people only know Sail because it got put onto like your iPod as like a free song.
Oh, it was one of those?
Remember when iTunes used to do that? Yeah,
Like
I
the
distinctly
U2
remember this
album?
because I remember being like, how did I get this song on my iPod? Like they would
Sail.
like put like yeah, exactly.
So aggressive.
It's just
so
that. though.
aggressive.
They just put that on your iPod. It's like, Sail! Just like repeats.
Yeah, just that version,
3 seconds.
literally. But you do kind of look like you would be screaming Sail on people's iPods.
I get it. I'm never mad if someone assumes I'm going to be saying Sail or MGK. I'm just like, no, I'm not. And then if they're me, and then I'm like, okay, dude.
I'm fully blind to my aesthetic, so I don't know if I look like I would be in a folk band, but I know Zach doesn't.
You're certain of one thing.
There's one thing I know.
That's what I know for sure.
I know. I always feel like
You
whenever.
look like you feel being a folk band.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
just gonna my just looking at you for like a
I
approximately
kind of
2
look like the
seconds.
guy from of Monsters and Men a little bit.
Do
maybe.
you?
I think so.
Also, I feel like you rock
Could
like
you be
Earth
all
Tones.
of Mumford and Sons?
No.
Every
I
Mumford.
don't think I
and
look
Son?
like that,
I don't actually know
like
what I
All
look
of the
like at all.
Marcus Mumford. I know what he looks like, but I don't know what the rest of them look like.
Me
I just
either.
picture remember they did that music video with like Andy from The Office and those guys.
No, I don't remember that, but
What? They were the band? Like they were Mumford and Sons?
I wish.
Wow.
Sorry, dude.
You
I
guys
want
missed
to
the
be in your
pop
corner.
culture.
yeah, I kind of want to. It's fine.
Just Google it.
Okay, I'll Google it. Okay, so we have AWOL Nation of Mumford,
Yes.
of Mumford and Sons.
Of Mumford and Sons.
Of Mumford.
Of Mumford and Men.
Of Mumford and Men.
Yeah. Of Mumford and Man.
I do feel like indie music had that renaissance in that time and has kind of disappeared a little bit, and I really want it back.
No, it's coming
I want
back.
it back
I don't
so
think it's
bad.
coming back either.
It's
Like-
Benson Boone.
What?
Like
Yeah,
That's the thing. That's a whole different genre. These
No,
are
but-
like
But
the
that's
single.
the segue. That's
maybe.
the segue.
Benson Boone is
Like
to
Chance.
me so much more like poppy. He's
Noah
a
Kahan?
really poppy guy. Oh,
What
you're
was
right.
that one
No,
guy?
Noah
Louis
Kahan is-
Capaldi kind of
Louis
started.
Capaldi?
that.
Louis Capaldi.
I think
oh my god,
it's-
have you ever seen any of his social content? He's so funny.
Yeah,
His music video, him like in his underwear on the pool floaty, like that, whatever that video is, that guy rocks.
His,
I
like,
can
that's
just tell.
another
really
example
thick
of, like-
Scottish accent.
Yeah.
Like his vibe doesn't fit his music at all.
Yeah, 100%. It does that. Yeah, the aesthetic doesn't matter. No, I agree with you though. I think Noah Kahan is like bringing that music back a little bit.
You want to know something
sure.
funny about me with Noah Kahan?
What?
I've never
You guys
heard a Noah
smooch?
Kahan song.
Oh, really?
And because now it's like a bit for me where like if
Now you
someone
can't listen to it,
yeah,
yeah.
if someone tries to play it, I'm like turn it off. Like
You're like, I literally will never listen to it.
I want to go my whole life without hearing it, but
Yeah,
I'm
fair.
sure I will somewhere. But
You
I've
probably
heard
already have.
I've heard the Stick Season thing as like there's like a joke one of it.
No,
No.
what's the joke one?
It's like a TikTok audio that like it's
Okay.
just someone doing it really bad. But I've never heard the actual song or any of.
So
the
you only know
songs.
the bad version
Yeah.
as the official?
Well, my thing with Noah Kahan is that I'm from Vermont.
You fuck with maple syrup.
Of course I fuck with
Shit.
my mom and dad like send me free maple syrup because they tap our trees.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
I have a
Damn.
friend that's from Vermont that has like a big syrup company there.
Yeah?
You know the Doobie family?
No.
I'm actually wearing.
but I'm
that's
sure.
crazy. I'm
Are
wearing
you wearing them right now?
Casey Doobie.
That do be
Oh, I'm-
crazy.
Well, repping maple syrup right there. I love
Yeah.
it.
Oh.
But he does a good job. And my shout out for his music is that like if you're from Vermont, it screams Vermont. It's like I gotta get out of this state that
Wait,
like only has
don't
ground
sing any actual
meat.
songs.
Yeah, no, I'm just singing the vibe. I'm not actually singing the music. But I resonate
hear
with it so hard.
He's kind of ushering that thing in, though, I think. I mean, I can't predict anything. I don't know what's going to
Hey,
happen next.
Wiles putting out an album in 2025, and it's going to be ushering that in even more.
Let's go.
What do we
Well-
just call it? Ushering it in.
It's
Ushering
all
it, that's good.
cylindrical, so I feel like we might catch it on its way back because we just kind of missed it on the way in.
Yeah,
Like,
we were
got
right after like
after.
because we were kind of like copying them.
Yeah, we were like very inspired by like what that was and trying
Yeah.
to do it like in our way, and then it went away.
That was like
Yeah.
right when we started doing stuff is when like that was like pop music was like the thing. Like,
Yeah.
The Weeknd and Katy Perry were
Oh,
starting
yeah.
to do
Royals,
their thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was like
Lord.
then everyone was into that. Yeah, Lord. And then
Do
it
you
was,
feel like all
the-
this stuff is cyclical? Like, I feel like we're.
Yeah.
It has to come back.
Like
It's-
Blink 182
Sure.
just happened again with MGK. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people who didn't grow up with Blink 182 had MGK's new record. The
and
one
now
that
there's
was all
tons of
pop punk.
people like doing the punk rock thing, like
Yeah.
pop punk kind of thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, I love pop punk.
It can be so good, and man, it can be so like
it's so easy to
fatiguing.
make bad.
Yeah.
Because like I've been that.
Yeah.
So I
Now
know
you
it's
look
like
like you could have been that. That's part of the.
I don't know what I want. Like, shit, like I don't. It's not great.
Oh, okay. So we figured out your most. Do you have an answer for what your most off-brand thing is?
My most off-brand.
Yeah.
thing.
Like, what do you think if like?
I've
you're-
never heard Noah Kahan.
Oh.
Maybe that.
Oh,
I look
you
like
know
I-
what? That's
I look like I
good.
listen to Noah
You
Kahan.
look like you.
Never have, never will.
Oh my God, that's so good. Other along the lines of like silly questions.
Silly question.
What would you do if you couldn't do music anymore? Because you guys only do music.
I
You do
know.
this all the
everything.
time.
I know exactly what I have my get out of my rainy day plan. Move to like somewhere like middle of nowhere, Montana, and work at the post office.
The post
The
office.
post office.
That's my
You can get paper
consistent
cuts all
pay.
the time.
Why? Really? Why
There's
post
so many other
office?
places.
Just because you
give
get to
consistent
like
pay.
be like you just. I mean, it's a town that no one lives in, so you're not gonna be that busy. You're just like
Yeah.
doing mail and chilling, and
I
like
suppose it's cathartic.
that's like my I meditate and think about that. Like when I'm really stressed, I'm like, oh, I could be in like middle of Montana just working at the post office right now,
I
Yeah.
think mine would be like.
and that wouldn't be bad. Like I would like that. But
Yeah.
That's a good attitude.
It
But
would be nice. I mean, it'd be very slow.
yeah,
And like,
I like that.
who goes
idea,
to the
though.
post office in Montana? You know,
Nobody.
You're not
I was
sending-
Does
gonna
anyone
say-
even live in Montana? I don't know.
I mean, I was just
Sorry.
in the middle of Montana, and yeah, sorry. I don't want to offend any Montanians.
Montanians. Yeah, yeah, that's correct.
Is that actually correct?
Montwans. I don't know.
Montwans. I like
That's
that.
what the French call them. Montwans.
Montwans.
Montwans. Oui, oui.
Okay, what would you do if you couldn't do music anymore?
I would move to Seattle and work at a coffee shop.
Hell yeah.
All right,
Be
so
a
post
barista.
office,
Post
coffee
office.
shop,
Yeah.
Montana,
I might
Seattle.
just do that.
Wyoming, some
Okay.
shit.
Okay, a couple other just quick, like, silly questions.
questions.
Silly questions. Okay. Let's hear it, guys. What's your best accents?
Arnar.
Clear.
Clear. I can't do it. I don't know. I'm so bad at it.
Under the pressure, it's tough.
I don't know. It starts off Australian, then it kind of goes British at some point. I don't really know how to do it.
Yeah.
It's not that great.
It's
I
not
tried.
bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Again.
Are you going to pull out your Australian one?
Mine's,
yeah.
actually, mine's actually a bit of a Kiwi accent, and I got this when I went to New
good.
Zealand kind of recently because I saw on the airplane when we were getting there, it said, watch out for all the piss. And all the piss are all the pests. And I was like, and that's, you know how...
I thought you were saying piss.
Yeah, I know. You thought I was saying piss, but I was actually saying piss, like P-E-S-T-S.
Yeah.
And
You ever watch Below Dick?
below dick.
They go, one of the chief stew is
See.
is the biggest. I don't know if it's New Zealand or Australian. I can never tell the difference, but their accent's crazy.
It is nuts.
Yeah, I feel like I just love the way they talk because they're like always. I can't do it without like smiling a lot because I
That's
feel
like-
like your
that's
mouth
what the
looks really
shape is,
wide.
yeah.
So it's just like you're always smiling, always showing your teeth.
Yeah, right. It's like that.
It sounds like this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's like what they do.
They do be doing that.
They do be.
Yeah, I love the vibe. I'm like, I love these people. It's also, have you guys been? It's so sick.
Yes. I went to Australia and New Zealand for this one tour, and it was the most hype, like, just energy at every show. Everyone was so excited. And then just going out, like, I went to, like, a karaoke bar, and it was sold out. Like, the karaoke bar was, like, packed. So, like, I'm like, okay, everyone here is just, like,
Sold out
way
karaoke bar.
funnier, way taller, way better looking,
they're
and
all
cool
hot.
accent. All of them. Like,
It doesn't make any sense. I'm
don't
like,
get it.
like Australia literally was like the inception of the country is like a prison. Like it's like
Yeah.
Britain's prison.
Yeah.
Like how is everyone like sexy? Like
All the hot
what? Like
people
what
go to
happened
jail.
here?
Hot people
I
go to
don't
jail.
know.
Hot people go to jail.
maybe that's what it is.
I'll do one more and then we can wrap things up here.
One more what?
Silly question. That's good. That's good. What's your weirdest quirk? Like what's like the weirdest thing about you?
Oh, I got. Yeah.
Oh,
You
that was
go
quick.
first.
You had it.
I got it because I talk about it way too much because it's weird, and it just comes up. But I don't eat fish at all. Like I've never had a fish,
Never in your
a
life.
shrimp.
Really?
Never,
Really? You've
ever.
never even gone to sushi?
Sushi?
That's everyone's first thing. It's like
Everyone's
I'm
first
not
thing
even
is like,
sushi.
sushi?
I swear.
Veggie sushi. I've had veggie sushi. Or like sometimes they have like a wagyu sushi, and I'll mess
Those
with
are
that.
super good.
But
oh my god.
I don't know why.
You just have an aversion to fish?
Yeah, it's just I wish I wanted to eat it, but I don't. So never once have I tried anything.
Texture thing?
I have no idea because I've never
Slimy?
felt it. Wouldn't know.
Wow. Wait, that's actually pretty wild.
Uh,
oh,
Like, there you go.
Here we go.
every
How are
time.
you?
A quirk. I don't know if this is a quirk. It's just like a weird thing that I've discovered is not normal. I like don't sweat. I can't.
Really?
Well, and if I do, I have to really exert a lot of energy. Like I don't sweat from my head. I've never had like drips of sweat come to my head ever.
Never.
The
Never?
only thing that will happen is my lower back will sweat.
What?
It's at the worst.
I think you should get that checked out.
No, I did.
The
They were
lower
like,
back?
They were like, no,
I
it
feel
just
like, I
happens.
feel like that's like,
But it takes like a lot. Like we
Your
would play like
glands
hour-long
are
sets.
plugged up or something.
No.
You're like the dream performer then.
yeah.
because I don't.
Your
I won't.
makeup won't run.
That's true. If I have like foundation on, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like it's not coming off.
I
You
sweat
might not
more
have
than-
sweat glands. Do you get overheated?
No, I'm actually. I
He
run
sleeps,
really cold.
He sleeps fully under covers, like head.
Yeah,
under
I
the
go all
Head
the way
under?
I have my
Every
own,
night.
Yeah,
on tour.
and if I
like,
don't, I throw a pillow over my
it's
head.
so funny. Like we get in the hotel room and he just instantly just cocoons, and that's it.
Yeah, I have to be like in complete darkness. I have to do like a little bit of like death practice. I think like I'm getting in like.
We couldn't be more opposite there. Like I'm like dripping sweat. I'll put like a blanket.
Lying above the covers,
Yeah.
fully naked.
Yeah, literally.
He's under the covers. Sweatshirt,
I'm
sweatpants,
cold.
socks.
Like right now, I'm like
I'm sweating.
yeah, I'm like very comfortable, if not a little bit cold. So I
Well,
think I
if you
have
guys
bad
share a
blood
bed,
flow.
you'll be okay.
We have shared many a bed.
We have
Yeah,
shared.
We
you'll be
have.
okay. Yeah.
No problem.
No
Just
problem.
best friend stuff.
Honestly, I get you on the covering your head part. Like I do that too when I sleep. But like I definitely,
Doesn't
I'm
it
very
get
sweaty.
hard to breathe when you're under?
I stick my nose out. I like make a little.
Oh,
with
me
the-
too.
with the
I like.
blanket.
I'll just stick like this part of my face out, just so I can breathe that fresh air. But I just do it because I'm like am kind of neurotic and like sensitive to light and sound. So
Yeah,
like
me too.
if I'm like hearing stuff or like it's really light, I'm like ugh.
Can't
It like
sleep.
annoys me. Yeah.
I sleep with the TV on No blankets.
I
most
used
of
to
the
be able
time.
to do that.
That's literally
With TV
crazy.
on.
I don't think I'd even fall asleep. If the TV was on and I didn't have a blanket, I would think I would just be like up all night.
Like I have to have a little blanket, but it usually goes just like right here.
Yeah.
But like my feet have
It's
to
a
be
formality.
out. Yeah. It is. My feet have to be out or I'm like, I'll die. I don't
Yeah.
know what that is.
Well, noted.
I don't know. That
I'll
makes
just
sense.
I'll give you a scarf if you get cold and you can just put it over your
yeah,
knees.
that's all I need.
Yeah, it's just a scarf.
Scarf. That's
Yeah.
the perfect size blanket for me.
Okay, I think that honestly, okay, we're at time here. I'm gonna wrap things up.
Did we nail it?
Wrap it up.
I think you guys
Did we do okay?
nailed it.
Yeah, it's my first time, so tried my best.
Tyler, Zach, thank you guys so much.
No, thank you.
No, thank you guys so much. Wild is awesome. Where can people check you out?
Wild the Band, or at Wild the Band on pretty much any social, and then just
Wildtheband.com.
wildtheband.com.
Wildtheband.com. Okay.
Spotify, just
Yeah.
Wild, all capital letters.
If you can't find it.
Sorry,
You're not
we
looking
picked
hard
the
enough.
worst name
It
as
is
far
really
as
hard to
Google
find.
ability.
But at this point, it's not hard.
yeah, at this point we
No,
have enough of it.
I will say,
Yeah.
if you search for them on Spotify, you will find Wild and
That's
their music.
good.
And I'll even say this: you're probably gonna have heard their music. Like
In
I
an
feel
ad,
like you're,
probably.
in an ad
you
probably,
watch
a
or
movie or show.
if you've ever watched
perhaps.
any TV,
Or
if you've
Goosebumps
been to
2.
Toyotathon,
Toyota.
if you've been to Mazdathon, then you will have seen their music. But yeah, you can check them out on all these platforms, and then keep your eyes peeled for when they release their album in 2025. What's the name of the album? Do we have a name yet?
We don't.
No name yet. If you have any
taking
suggestions,
All right, guys, DM some suggestions, and then maybe they'll consider their
it can
album.
be anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Okay.
We're free will people.
Love that. All right, guys, thank you so much. Woo!